Number 5 is you have to ask permission. Na, 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 na. You have to ask for permission from your boss. Your boss. I remember years ago I worked at this company, and I'm there in the mindset, and I'm really just going through it in my mind to know that I'm unemployable. But at this time, I didn't have know where I was going to have my business sense at, or just know what I was going to do for myself. But I knew that my mind was very passionate. I was very passionate on helping people and talking to people. I was very passionate. I didn't know at the time that my true calling was coaching and encouraging people. But I'm there, and I had this gentleman who he was really passionate about the corporate job, or at least pretending like it, right? And he would always say to our director, he would call him boss man. He would say, if the director says something like, hey, can you get this report? Yes, yes, boss man. You got it, boss man. Yes, I sure will. I'll get right on top of it, boss man. Oh, it just cringed me. It cringed me. It even cringes me now to even think about it. And I know that you know somebody like that that's also who you work with, right? I remember saying to the gentleman, I was like, man, we have to try to free ourselves to be like, do something of our own, or make something more important. At this time, I'm trying to give encouragement, but it was going in one ear and out the other. And I understand it would be going in one ear and out the other, because who am I to try to give you advice if I'm in the same situation, I'm working at the same job, and I'm going through the same thing, and I'm trying to tell you how to break free from some type of corporate thing. But really, I guess what I was saying to him is like, don't never call someone your boss. You're your boss. They have a title. They're a director, they're a manager, they're a supervisor. That's who they are. But don't get in the habit of saying someone else is a boss, because then you start thinking that someone is superior than you, and that you're inferior, and that someone has that they're over your life. And then you start asking for permission from your boss. Like that's your mommy, like that's your daddy, right? That's why I go, nah, 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 nah. Don't put yourself in a situation all the time where you had to ask permission. It's dehumanizing. But this kind of goes back to what we talked about on number 1 about clocking in, asking for permission. Like, how many times have you had a vacation time, PTO? You had something like that, but then you still had to ask for permission if you could take the time off that you're supposed to have. You know what I'm talking about if you're in corporate America. You have to ask for permission if you can take the time off that is granted to you. And then when you take the time off and you're on vacation, you can't even really enjoy the vacation, because there's a piece back in your mind that's thinking about what? Your job. You're thinking about your job because you know you got to go back to the office. And then when you go back to the office, it's not like they're going to ease into it. It's more like they're going to treat you like you have backup work to do, like you don't feel good about it. When you go back to work, that's why you see people make jokes where they're like, my mind is still on my vacation. You could do this for yourself. You could put yourself in a situation where you don't have to ask for permission, and you can take your time off. You could dedicate to where your time is going to be. You could dictate your time. That's how I operate my life. I like to be geologically free, and I like to be time free. I love to work. You know I love to work. I still work 10 to 12 hours, but there's times where I don't like to be dictated on what time that I have to show up, or what time that I have to do a certain routine of a thing. It throws me off. Even though I can do it, I don't like to do it because I don't like to be boxed in where I'm asking for permission. I live my life. This is how I'm designing it, and you should get in the habit of designing your own life. Don't ask for permission. All right, number 5 is we're going to let each listing do the future work. All right. So when we're letting each listing do the future work, it's kind of like I like to think of my buy and now listings as a passive income. Okay. So we're just going to put that here: passive income, passive money, honey. I like to think of future listings like passive income. All right, so let's just put it down here so you can at least know what I'm talking about. Future listing. Future listings. Look, no one's going to pay you like you pay yourself. No one's going to pay you like you pay yourself. And I'm telling you, one of the best feelings, because when I first started off in eBay, I was still working in corporate America. And one of the best feelings that I had is that if I had a moment where I'm working corporate America and my mindset is always on the one paycheck, because I'm so used to working in corporate America where I had over 80 jobs and I've always had one paycheck, right? One of the best feelings that I had is that I was listing a lot of artwork into my buy it now store. And I didn't understand the systems then of how I'm teaching you now. So if you're already here right now, then you're way further ahead than me when I started, all right? And you can even be further ahead as long as you click the link below. Join us in the free eBay art community. It's free to join. You could just tap in and you can see everything mapped out for you. But I didn't have the systems in place, but I was putting artwork, like I had my gallery artwork, and I was putting different things like that inside my buy it now store. And one of the best feelings was that it was unexpected. I'm still working my corporate job, but then I would get a cha-ching. And the cha-ching wasn't from the auction. The cha-ching was happening from my buy it now store. Now, the trip is this. The more that you're actually putting artwork into your buy it now store and you're just going with the flow and you're creating on the volume and you're creating on the time and you're not thinking anything about it, or you might already be in a situation where you have existing artwork at home and you could just put it up into your buy it now store and forget about it. I had artwork that was already in my buy it now store that I forgot about. So by the time that it does sell and I'm working my corporate job, it's like passive income for me because I've already forgotten about the artwork. I'm thinking that it's already something that I've done either a while ago or something that I've done that was so quick and brief that it didn't cost me no mind. That's why I talk about don't focus too long on Mona Lisas and 1,000 hours on the polar bear hairs, because when you sell those, you're always going to think about those because it took you so long to do it. And then your emotion's going to be tied to that painting. But when you're just knocking out paintings in different themes, you are always going to have people buy it. You're always going to have people buy it from your buy it now store, but you're not going to know when it happens. And when it happens, it's going to be like passive income. It's passive income because when it happens, that's free additional money. You weren't expecting on it. It's just sitting there in your buy it now store. eBay is still working it for you. So that's a gem right there. I love that one. I'm gonna put a star right here. And this might go over a lot of people's heads, but that's a big deal. That's a big deal to get you out of a psychological trap. And you know what I'm gonna tell you something I never told. I was contemplating on going back to corporate. I was working corporate America, right? But I had one foot in, one foot out. Like I was serving two masters with eBay. And I was contemplating being done with eBay because I didn't know how to work the system. I was contemplating on being done because I wasn't really doing anything. But when I remember a situation, this happened once or twice to me, the passive income came in and I said, oh my God, I forgot that I got an open eBay account. I forgot that I have artwork that's sitting on the store there. Hold on, I could be making money off of that where I control the time and I could just control the volume of me showing up. And that meant a lot. This saved my life when that happened, because I would have just gone back to work in corporate America, believing in the mindset that nothing's going to work for me. Nothing's going to happen. I'm just going to always work in corporate America because I have bad luck. One of those type of people, right? And this saved my life because all of a sudden passive income happened, cha-ching out the blue. I forgot that I had the listing. I made money off of it. I was like, whoa, let me put my energy into that and let me actually see what happens. And there we have it right there. That's the end of the video. Like I said, you don't have to be a traditional artist. You can do this for yourself. You can start making money as early as next week. You can have everything mapped out and set up for you. Click the link below. Join us in the eBay art community so you can do this for yourself. But if you're not interested, then that's fine too. Just leave me a like on this video. Let me know that you appreciate the art that we're creating and the cool stuff that we're talking about and that you're vibing with it. Hey, that means the world to me as well. All right, I'm going to check you out on the next video.